one of the biggest rounds so far that we've seen this year, which is Jet HR. So let's talk about this very interesting Series A. So Jet HR tech startup raising 25 million in a growth round from Base 10 partner, Exor Venture, and Italian Founders Fund. Very, very interesting. Jet HR has been like on the radar like for a little bit of time. One of the fastest growing company for sure. There is a few of insight that we should definitely share because it's a great success case for Italy and for Italian founders. I mean, let's not forget that the founder is a very successful second time, at least a second time founder that I know of. So very, very interesting. A few pointers that I thought was very, very interesting were the fact that basically in terms of integration and growth, two impressive numbers just to give some KPIs. So basically JetHR integrates with over 600 government entities in Italy. So basically imagine that, there is a massive work in integration, trying to make bureaucracy like smooth, very, very interesting challenge. They started off with payroll. And again, talking about payroll, I think in Italy, basically payroll processing is over 30 euro per employee per month as like an overall cost, which is 5 times higher than the US. So just to give some like a comparison over here. So interesting market, very critical, very clunky, a lot of like complexities, a lot of like pain in the head essentially for like small and medium companies. So basically is a very, very interesting business to be in for sure. And that definitely shows in the growth. So imagine this, in 2024, they achieved 6 time increase in annual recurring revenue. And basically they expanded the customer base to 700 small and medium enterprise, most of which, think about this, are around 15 people. So very interesting because the target this is kind of the core of Italy in a way. Companies of different sort between like 15 to 20 people, kind of the backbone of the Italian like economy in a way. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you think about it, in that market, payroll management is almost always outsourced to a service provider that manages all of it. So of course, if you go to the big enterprises, payroll is probably already incorporated in the technology stack and the internal processes. But there's a huge amount of enterprises in Italy with less than like 100 employees, and this is all everything is outsourced. So it is actually a huge opportunity. Outsourced and mostly still hand work, hand
Yep.
management, hand managed. So excellent intuition. And to further give some information about JetHR. So you say they've been around for a while, but not for so long. Since the very first round, the pre-seed round, dates back to 2023. So it's only 2 years back, less than 2 years back, I believe. But it
Yeah.
was June. So exactly, it was June tomorrow. So it's 2 years tomorrow since the announcement of the pre-seed round.
Interesting. So definitely a great example on, basically a company that scales really fast and reaches velocity very, very fast. So probably one of the fastest we've seen this year so far, I would say. I mean, among the top three, I would say, if like fastest growth companies like happening in Italy right now. So another interesting element that I thought it was very curious is that even one thing, not many people know is that JTHR was about to be close to break even before this round. So another kind of great indicator of the kind of health of the company that basically is using effectively all this round for like massive growth and to basically do this like tiny step in reaching break even. Well, I say tiny just because they were already there, but it's a huge deal. But definitely like the injection of capital is definitely something that is going to propel them like very, very far. So very, very interesting.
Mm-mm. Now, one has to wonder whether, since this is a very deep market, a deep problem to the Italian market, seeing these international investors coming in, will create a further push. Maybe they already have some, I don't know. But reading the articles, you have the sensation that there will be some push to look at international markets, because the problem is probably deep also somewhere in Europe, to name other countries. Even though there are operators over there, so there will be a bit more competition. But
Yeah,
only the
with
Italian market is deep, so
absolutely,
it'll be
absolutely. And
interesting.
with that, that's a great segue about talking about investors. So this is basically the lead investor for this round is essentially one firm, which is based 10 partners. Basically, this is an investment firm with 1.3 billion in asset under management. In their portfolio, they include a bunch of like a very, very famous company, just to mention a few, like Figma, Notion, and the general partner, the founder, Ade, is essentially the one that built it. It's a team of like about 20, 25 people, so it's a kind of a big firm. And they're really pushing, from what I understand, what they define as automation for the real economy. So very concrete and practical problems that are solved through digital solutions and applications. So very, very interesting. And it's interesting because this is, I believe, one of the first, well, if not the first, investment that they did in Italy. So it's a very massive signal. Good for the ecosystem again, and this is one way to actually get access to even like further round later on down the road. And it's a great signal to the international markets as well, I would say.